So welcome. I was trying to make a video to try to help people like me who does not have a high budget wheel like Fanatec wheel or direct to drive wheel, stuff like that. So I have a Logitech G29 in F124, and my goal is just to try to share my experience on what I did. So it's not, I still have some force feedback and that allow me to play, and I don't have to hurt my thumb, which happen a lot of times. So first of all, let me grab the camera. And so what I have first before was a Logitech wheel, which is round, I guess, and I removed it and I add another, as you can see right here. So they have all the button. Normally it's just a different mode that it was added to it. Mainly the main button I use at least when I race is the four button right here, the circle, the X and everything, R2, R3, L2, L3, and the plus and minus button as well, and the direction button mainly, and the vitesse change, the speed change, of course, the gear change, sorry. So not a big deal. So let's just go and dive into it and see how I use all of that to make sure I have a decent wheel with a decent amount of force feedback and everything. So let me put back the camera real quick and we can start. All right. So first, I think the first thing to do is go to settings, which is mainly where everything is. I think it's control feedback mainly as well. And so there you can go to the generic setting first if you want to use the overtake button as a hold. Mainly the money could display, I leave it to default, which is fine. I don't have this adaptive trigger and this Logitech D-Force, I don't have it, so I'm just gonna leave it to default at 100%. So now I have my G29 set up already, so I'm gonna modify it because there is a new handling that's coming out today when I'm recording this video at least. So what I first do is like the calibration, which is the steering rate is 100%. You can use that. This I found it my sweet spot. You can modify that as well. The only thing I did, I have the position of my clutch pedal and my brake pedal switch. So I did not just went to the app or just this here and just switch the pedal. No, I physically moved the brake pedal, which was in the middle, to the far left side, and I add a mod as well which have a rubber into it inside the spring that's allow me to have more resistance when I try to brake. So you can pause the video and use this and try this, or try to play with the numbers depending on what type of a throttle and brake you have. Mine is, this one feels good, so I'm gonna leave it at that. The second one is the vibration and force feedback. This is where really we're gonna mainly work here. So as you can see, I had it at 130, but I'm gonna bring it down because it hurt my thumb. The default setup, I think it's 70, 75, 65. I watched one video from Brandon Lee, and his was 60, 65, and he was saying after anything above that may not be, may kind of hide the force you want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it to 100, because I'm gonna put it to 110. Let's say 110. What's that gonna feel? I think I'm gonna leave it to 110 or 100. So just try to do a range between 90, 100, 110. If you don't have a true force feedback like modern wheels have, you need to have as much vibration as you want, because that's how that's your force feedback, quote unquote. And when you leave the wheel damper to null, so as soon as you have a little bit loss of grip, you can feel it, because the difference between 100% of vibration and 0% of vibration is so huge that you're gonna feel it when you are losing traction. So that's why I did set it up like that. The rest, the track on fact is mainly the same. I just increase a little bit, but you can go decrease it as well. But the main thing is just mainly the force feedback strength. So I put it to 130 first time, but I have to level it well. So now I'm gonna try 110 or 100, maybe 100 gonna be fine, and from there on and just play with that, because if you go too high, you're gonna have your thumb gonna be hurting, your wrist gonna be hurting, and that's gonna be not feeling well. In terms of maximum wheel rotation as well, this game when it first came out was really snappy and really hard to handle. So I had to play around with this number, and I found myself around 340. I was able to feel like the way I wanted to steer was okay with the game was following my wheel at that point. So you can try 240, less or higher depending on how you just playing around, but at least the force feedback trying to be higher than 60, 70, because if you don't have a true force feedback, you're gonna need a lot of vibration and strength into it. So that's mainly that, and the other aspect of it is how I mapped my wheel as well. So the acceleration is the same. The brake is the one on the farthest left. You can see how it looks like. It's the brake, the real brake. So I did not modify this here. Steering the same. Both gear up, gear down, fine. Clutch is fine. Everything. The device is depend on you. I use a triangle button because that's just me, but you can use a pit limiter X. Voice command is where I use to just say whenever I want to pit or stuff like that, or ask any information about my car or the race. MFD, the square button gonna be useful because I'm gonna be mainly using that to see my tire wear and my tire temperature. That's the main two information I want to use with the square button. Everything else, push to start, is the same as the regular voice command. So I don't overtake button. It is the I use the circle button because it's the closest to my right thumb and I can just press it easily. Manual pit stop and pit limiter the same because I don't want to use too many buttons, so I have to compromise here, which I did with using that. So the other part, which is really people I think is let's go right away here. MFD shortcuts. So I'm gonna change here in front of you so you can see. So what I really want is to use the pit setup and know whenever I want to pit. And for example, if there's a safety car and I need to change the tire choice, I'm gonna use that for L3. And the car damage, I don't need it. I can use the MFD, the square button for that. I'm gonna use the this button, which is the car damage panel. I'm just gonna don't do anything with it and just unbind it. So let's unbind it. Car engine state, don't need it. Car temperature, don't need it because I can use a MFD and by just pushing the square button twice. Fuel mix, no much needed as well. The car setup panel, I think it is this one. Let me see. Yes, the car setup panel is where you see the which state of ARS you are if you are in overtake mode or anything like that. So I'm gonna use that for R3, and I'm gonna increase my brake bias by going R2 because not brake bias I'm going to use a plus, and decrease minus. ERS mode, yes, because in this game, how you say, you're gonna use a different ES mode with the non-button, overtake, hot lap, the medium, anything like that. So it's gonna be easier to know that on the right is where I increase the ES mode, on the left 2 is where I decrease the ES mode, and those are closer. And the R3, L3 is more like mainly for the pit situation, and if I need to check where mode I am at for. If I need to check my car temperature, my tire temperature, I can just use the MFD button, the square button, as well as my tire wear, so it make it easier for me. Anything else, that's just simple. You can pause the video and try the way I map my stuff. I have a way to use a lot of buttons and make it easier on myself as well. So I can use these as well. Let's see what else I can use. I can use the the red circle moving to the right if I want to do anything like extraordinary, like let's say the differential. I can do it like that and just increase it with by using that, and decrease it by using by turning the kind of wheel, the small red wheel, to the left or to the right. So after that, I have everything the way I want it. That's how I set up my wheel. But the main important again is the feedback strength, which is need to be at least 100 or 90 if you wanna play with a G29 wheel that I have, which doesn't have a real true force feedback basically. Alright guys, that's all I had for you, so enjoy it. If you have any more question, ask me in the commentary. I would love to answer them. And alright, enjoy the game and have a good day.